the Patreon film, that being the 1977 film Eraserhead, as requested by Lucas the Dead. Thank you for the pick. We all thought it was going to be, like, it was rated very highly, so we all thought it was going to be good, and here we are. It all makes sense in the end.
Yeah.
So,
much.
yeah, this... Dylan, please take us away with the description of Eraserhead.
You're asking the guy who has the least amount of clue what's going on in this movie to summarize the movie?
It's either you or me, and I think you're the funnier option, unfortunately.
Dude, I can't. I was literal when I said I'm gonna forget everything about this movie intentionally. It's about some guy who's living in some alternate dimension, and wacky shit happens, and gross shit happens, and maybe it's all in his head, maybe it's not an alternate dimension. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this movie. It's a film. I don't know what to say outside of that. They took cameras, they took sounds, they put them together, they made a movie. I don't fucking know.
That's fair.
You forgot the part where they raised and killed a baby. Anyways, Tanner, what's your fun fact?
Fun fact, the baby was supposedly made from an embalmed calf fetus.
That would check out. Alright, what's everybody's rating before we get into this shit?
I'm thinking F+, personally.
I'm gonna second that motion.
I give it a flat D.
What?
Dude, you guys got stat checked by this movie. I gave it a C+.
I had a funny feeling you would, Tanner. You silly man.
Listen.
This...
Go on.
Yeah, Tanner, get your fucking fact out of the way so we can talk about this goddamn movie. Or you already said it?
Yeah, you
already fucking said it. I'm stupid. Okay, yeah, this movie... I'm surprised Tanner's rating this highly, because it seems like the type of movie where he'd be like, this movie's completely nothing, it's got nothing of value here, it's just some artsy-fartsy bullshit to try and make pseudo-intellectuals think they found something interesting. This seems like the type of movie that he'd be thinking this for.
That's not at all what I would expect Tanner to think about this movie. I think that Tanner's interpretation of this film is this is just a bunch of dumb bullshit that the guy put together to trick people into thinking it's deep.
That's what Jackson was just saying.
No, it sounded like Jackson was saying that this is just like a bunch of dumb bullshit that like seems like it's deep, but it's not actually. Like, I think the difference between what Jackson and I said was the intent of the artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this is David Lynch's debut film, I'm pretty sure. And he made this when he was a fucking college film student, so this, it all makes sense.
What a terrible debut.
Yeah, this movie's culturally acclaimed. People love this movie.
All of our favorite directors all say this inspired them to make movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it personally. Obviously, there's a lot of, theorizing you could do about the events of what you're watching. Is it all in his head, maybe? You can make all sorts of connections about what the different characters mean, if they're metaphors or something, like what the baby means about the character's life in general, or his aspects on humanity even. But, it's just so insanely obtuse and confusing and hard to watch that it really just drags it down a lot for me. I don't think it's a very enjoyable movie to watch. The fucking audio is loud and annoying and hurt my fucking ears, to be honest. I was just literally, the entire time we were watching the movie, just continuously turning it down.
Yep.
Some people might say this adds to, the uncomfortable, disturbing atmosphere it's trying to present, but I just think it makes it hard to watch and annoying. I found it funny more than creepy. I didn't think it was very scary at any point. I just thought it was kind of silly and goofy. Couldn't take anything seriously. It's just kind of a dumb movie that's insanely fucking dense for seemingly no reason from my perspective.
Yeah, this movie reminded me a lot of the video game Harvester that somebody had mentioned while we were watching it, which is also, it's a video game where it's just a lot of weird fucking fucked up shit happening constantly. The big difference between Harvester and this film, though, that I think just really makes Harvester something that I feel like I can enjoy, whereas this isn't, is because I like it when films make you think a little bit about them and make you piece things together, continue mulling them over even after the credits roll. But there just isn't enough in this film to really ground me to its world to make that a fun thing to do. Instead, it just feels kind of pointless because none of this really ends up feeling like it makes sense. Which, ultimately, it's a story about, the anxieties of fatherhood. I don't fucking care. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's actually trying to present fatherhood as a nightmarish hellscape. You should not have kids as a PSA against having kids.
This movie was made for Jackson.
Hell yeah. Tanner, you're very high on this movie comparatively to the rest of us. Why do you give it a C+? What's your counter argument to the rest of what we've said?
I actually found it to be pretty straightforward, to be honest. I actually, like, there's a lot of imagery and whatever, but, like, when it comes to, like, interpreting it, I didn't actually find it all that obtuse.
What's your takeaway for the events of this film, then? What do you think it's trying to portray?
What do you think happens at the end? What's the ending? Did he kill himself?
I mean, you know, Nico was very dismissive of it, but yeah, I think
yeah,
it is
it's just a story about fatherhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about the anxiety of fatherhood and whatever. My thing is like I think it's very like visually interesting, and I think it's kind of interesting to sort of think about and whatever. But the thing that brings me down to a C+ is I did just find it very viscerally disturbing. I think a lot of the credit I'm giving this movie is like it really did get a reaction out of me, like especially at the end when he like cuts open the bandages and then it's like neck comes out. That entire like segment of film, I was literally like staring at the screen like mouth agape, just in horror at what I was looking at.
What do you think that meant, by the way? Why do you think the neck kept doing that? Did that mean anything?
I don't know there, but
what did the whole Eraserhead, what this film is named after, what did that entire sequence mean?
I think that's just a complete non sequitur. I don't think that had anything to do with anything.
It's very straightforward and easy to follow, I'm telling you.
I mean, you know, it was a dream, so
the part where
I think
he
it's
goes
allowed
down
to be
into
weird.
a pool of cum or something with that random woman he hooks up with, and then his head gets fucking lopped off. A kid grabs it and gives it to some doctor that turns it into an eraser. This all coincides with the plot of him being a father.
It's fairly straightforward. Honestly, I just don't think you guys were paying that much attention to the film.
Listen, you're putting words in my mouth for no reason. I think that the surface level story, well, not even story, but like the surface level themes, I guess, are pretty straightforward. Yes, there's lots of imagery and whatever, but like I wasn't like sitting through this and being confused while I was watching it.
I would agree. I think the themes they're trying to portray are not super subtle, but also like they're just done in such an abstract way, as this film's obviously trying to be. That's its whole point, is trying to be some super abstract alternative type of movie. And honestly, that's why it makes it really hard to rank, and why I was really tossing up what I wanted to give it initially, just because this movie is fun to think about and theorize what's going on, but I don't think it's like a fun movie to watch necessarily. Like as a viewing experience, I think it's more entertaining to think about what it's trying to portray and like maybe try to explain to you, rather than actually watching it as a piece of media. Like I don't want to watch this again, but I do. Throughout the entire week, I've been like pondering, like what has this movie been trying to say to me? I don't know. How do these different pieces of seemingly random things connect? What's up with the fucking chick in the radiator? What's up with the dude pulling the levers in the rock or something? Why does that guy seem like it connects to the baby somehow? What's going on here?
He was the concept of conception. He was there when the baby was born. The entire opening scene, that was just sex.
They also had the parallel of that guy having a bunch of like boils when he was, and like the baby when he was sick. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can draw from this movie. I think it's more fun as like an art piece rather than something to like rate, which is kind of unfortunate because I didn't enjoy watching this, but I absolutely see merit in this movie, but also like it's just not something I want to like rate.
Yeah, I'd agree with everything you said there.
Yeah, but unfortunately for me, I do feel as though there's something I've talked about before. If you're gonna have like this sort of symbolism and such in your film, it's cool that it has a lot of meaning and you can do a lot of thinking for it, but unfortunately I think the base level that you need to achieve is making an actually entertaining film first, so which I simply don't think this achieved.
I'm excited for this review to pop up for no reason or pop off for no reason, and then we're gonna have a bunch of people in the comments calling us plebeian retards because we just didn't understand this really easy to follow movie. We didn't get the high art. That's
obviously the radiator woman symbolizes hope or some bullshit.
Her head's actually supposed to look like a piece of semen. She's actually a representation of the sperm that won. Who cares? It's fucking weird. It's a strange movie.
Why does when the wife like leaves or whatever, why is she just like clinging to the bed frame repeatedly? What's up with that?
She's trying to pull out a suitcase.
Okay.
You mean when she was pulling her suitcase out from under it? I think that maybe was just, I think that was a joke, actually.
Oh, okay. It's an unexpectedly funny movie. You also gotta consider that part here.
It is a
Which,
funny
in
movie.
fairness, I liked the dad. I thought he was a fun character.
Him just fucking blankly giving him a smile after the two women leave the room crying is the funniest shit ever when the little chicken gets done splooging and just fucking staring at him. Funny movie. What's up with the fucking shit all over it? Like, why has he got like mulch or some shit all over his fucking apartment? Why did he start seeing that shit in their house when he like is about to leave? What's up with that shit? What does that represent?
That's his headspace.
Is that the
That's
is that
the
a bunch
fertile
of,
ground in which his child will grow.
I don't know what the fuck's going on in this movie. I guess we're gonna end it off here, presumably. My rank hasn't changed.
Okay. Why'd the mom kiss him? F+ still.
She thought he was hot.
Oh,
She was
okay.
horny.
True. That was weird. Yeah, my rank remains unchanged as well. C+.
F+.
There we go. Sounds like you were at least higher than we initially talked about the film, Dylan. When we first watched it, you said you were going to give it like an F.
Well, I was gonna go in that tier somewhere, is what I was implying.
Okay.
Understandable. And that landed at a D overall, which sounds about right.
For Eraserhead.
I F tier is for like movies I won't watch again, basically.
Which you wouldn't watch this one again, so it all makes sense.
Yeah.